Hey, hero enthusiasts. Ever imagined if Deku's drive came from Nejire's spark? Buckle up for a thrilling what-if journey as we explore this dynamic duo's potential synergy. It was early, and you could see a group of kids in front of another pair of kids who were hurt. Apparently, the mentioned group of kids was hitting and mistreating those two. Something noticeable was that a green-haired boy wasn't just standing by. Izuku, that's cruel, Kachan. Can't you see they're crying? If you keep going, I'll never forgive you. Trembling with fear and trying to protect a child. Bakugo, even without a quirk, do you pretend to be a hero, Deku? Using his quirk to intimidate Izuku. Bakugo and his friends rushed toward Izuku to beat him up. Quite some time passed, Izuku was alone as the kid he had defended had left the area. He was tired, staring at the sky until he felt someone approaching. Hey, what happened to you? You're really hurt. Peeking into Izuku's view. Izuku, very impressed and a bit shocked, responded. The shock was because Izuku wasn't used to talking to other people since he was quirkless. Izuku, I just wanted to help. Trying to get up, dazed and unaware of who he was talking to. Can you get up, or do you need help? Offering assistance to Izuku. Izuku, are you helping me? Grabbing the stranger's hand to get up. Why I'm quirkless. I don't deserve help, I'm a failure. Already up and facing the stranger. What does being quirkless have to do with anything? A bit curious, looking at Izuku's wounds. That's no reason to push someone away, that's cruel. Pouting. Izuku, do you think so? Still sore but a bit excited. Of course. By the way, what's your name? I'm Nejire Hadu, but you can call me Nejire. Cheerful and curious. Izuku, my name is Izuku Midoriya. But they call me Deku. Somewhat sad, remembering the meaning of his nickname. Nejire, Deku? What does that mean? Curious about Izuku's nickname. Izuku, Deku means useless. According to my friends, I'm useless because I don't have a quirk. Sad and a little embarrassed. Nejire, I see. What if we change that meaning? Happy and excited about the idea she just had. Izuku, really? Happy but still a bit sore from his injuries. Nejire, what do you want to be in the future? Curious, placing her finger on her cheek. Izuku, I want to be a hero who saves everyone with a smile, like All Might. Joyful and determined. Nejire, really? I want to become a heroine too. Raising her fist like All Might. But let's talk about that later. To me, the perfect meaning for that nickname is, you can do it. Happy and boosting Izuku's spirits. Izuku was totally impressed. Nejire was the first person to tell him that he could become a hero and didn't tell him to give up because he didn't have a quirk. Izuku, why you're really giving me that awesome meaning? Tears of happiness. Nejire, of course. Why not? Even if you don't have a quirk, you should never lose hope. You just have to work hard and try, even when it seems impossible, until you reach your goal. Happy and showing an adorable smile. Upon hearing those incredible words, Izuku couldn't help but kneel down and start crying with joy. He still couldn't believe the support he hadn't even received from his mother. 1 hour later. Nejire, so your motivation is All Might. I still don't have a favorite hero. Isn't that curious? Almost everyone is motivated by All Might these days, although he is really awesome. Sitting on a bench with Izuku. Izuku, All Might is awesome. He always saves people with an incredible smile. Throwing punches in the air. Did you see that video? Where he saves so many people in such a short time. It's really amazing. With a great sparkle in his eyes from excitement. Nejire, of course, I saw it. I watched it like 10 times in one day. I couldn't believe he saved so many people. Getting up from the bench, a little excited. Sometimes I wish I could be like All Might. Someone strong with an amazing quirk. Unfortunately, my quirk is just spiraling waves. Ridiculous, right? Sitting back on the bench, a little sad. Izuku, you don't have to worry about that. It's like you said to me. You have to strive to reach your goal. Looking at Nejire's eyes, a little nervous. Why you can do it. Happy and smiling, a little embarrassed. Nejire, why you're right. Taking a small jump, causing her to get up from the bench. I'll try hard and make my quirk into a very powerful one to become the best heroine in the world. Happy and motivated by what Izuku said. The two talked for quite a while. Nejire seemed to have quite a few questions until they came to a rather interesting topic. Izuku, B. By the way, how old are you? I'm 4 years old. Curious and cheerful. Nejire, I'm older than you. I'm 6 years old. With a somewhat teasing tone. Izuku, that's not fair. You're a cheater. Pouting. Nejire, it's not cheating. Laughing a bit. By the way, you look cute. Pointing at Izuku's pout. Izuku, I'm not cute. Pouting even more pronouncedly. Nejire, relax, if you keep it up, you'll kill me with cuteness. Pinching Izuku's cheeks. Izuku, that's not fair, you're taking advantage of being older. A bit annoyed. Wait, what time is it? Looking at a broken toy clock. I'm late. I have to go. A bit sad. Nejire, don't worry, Izuku. Is it okay if we meet tomorrow? Happy and getting up from the bench they were sitting on. Izuku, oh okay, see you tomorrow. Saying goodbye and walking away from the place. Nejire stayed seated for a few minutes, waiting for Izuku to leave until she saw that it was getting late. Nejire, I was right. It's getting very late. Running home. With Izuku. Izuku, hi, Mom. Thanks for picking me up. Happy and hugging his mother. Inko, what happened today, Izuku? You had a big change in attitude. Happy about her son's change. Izuku, nothing, Mom. I'm just in a good mood. Happy and excited to continue his path to becoming a hero. 6 years later. Izuku spent these last few years better than he expected. Nejire had influenced Izuku's life too much. He finally had a trustworthy friend. Every day, he hung out with Nejire, to play or talk. All until Nejire had something important to tell Izuku. Nejire, I'm sorry, Izuku. I want to spend more time with you, but... Crying a little but being interrupted by Izuku. Izuku, we'll see each other soon. D. Don't worry. It's your dream to go to UA, right? Forcing a smile and feeling a bit embarrassed. Nejire, remember to give it your all and never give up. Getting closer to Izuku while wiping her tears. I'll wait for you. Hugging Izuku. Izuku, thank you. F for motivating me. To pursue my dream. A bit embarrassed, returning the hug. The two hugged for quite some time. They had a lot of trust in each other as they had formed an amazing friendship over the last 6 years. Nejire, I'll wait for you at UA. Don't you dare give up. Happy and walking away from the place. 1 hour later. Izuku, thoughts, it seems like my destiny is to be alone forever. Somewhat sad, remembering the past. Flashback. Nejire, you can do it. Cheerful and determined. End of flashback. Izuku, no. I can't give up like this. I have to strive. I have promises to fulfill. Motivated, starting to exercise in the park. Izuku, thoughts, I have to push myself twice as hard. No, triple if I want to become a hero. From today, my training begins. With determination, doing sit-ups. 4 years later. We see a 14-year-old Izuku, a bit more muscular than expected. He was running towards a place where a villain was causing quite a disaster, very excited with a notebook in hand. Izuku, narrating, it all started in China, in Qingqing City. There was a baby who glowed with light since birth. Since then, superpowers have been discovered in various places, and time passed without knowing the cause. Before we knew it, the supernatural became normal, and dreams came true. The world turned into a society of superhumans, and 80% of the world's population has some kind of special ability. In this chaotic world, the profession everyone imagined and admired emerged. That profession is. With seriousness. End narration. We see a villain destroying almost everything in his path until a hero appeared and saved some people who were in danger. Citizen 1, oh, it's Death Arms. Excited to see the hero. Citizen 2, he brings justice with his great physical strength. The punching hero. Excited. Backdraft, everyone, this is dangerous. Step back, creating a water ribbon. Citizen 3, the rescue specialist, Backdraft, is here too. Excited. Citizen 4, but heavens, turning into a monster with an incredible quirk, what did he do? Annoyed with the villain. Citizen 5, he stole someone's wallet and went out of control when he was cornered. Bored. Citizen 4, with a quirk like that, and he's stealing wallets? Annoyed. Citizen 6, I'm sorry, the train. Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it to work on time. Worried about his job. Suddenly, a sound was heard of someone approaching the battle. Group of girls, you can do it, Kamui. Excited by the hero's arrival, Kamui started to approach the villain to begin dodging his attacks and reach his position. Villain, don't come any closer. Angry at the hero. Izuku was getting closer to watch the fight, arriving at the forefront. Izuku, who's fighting? Excited. Kamui continued to dodge the villain's attacks with his wood quirk, impressing his fans. Izuku, Shinrin Kamui. The young and talented rising star. Excited. Friendly citizen, you asked, but you made the perfect comment, kid. You're a fan, right? Pointing at Izuku. Izuku, and no. A bit embarrassed. Kamui began to run across the giant villain's body, then was thrown onto a rooftop and made a perfect landing. Kamui, illegal use during rush hour and resulting in bodily harm. You are the embodiment of evil. Preparing an attack. Izuku, oh, here it comes. Excited for the hero's attack. Friendly citizen, show us something bright, tree man. Yelling to the hero. Izuku, prison. Excited. Kamui, binding chains of lacquered varnish. About to deliver his ultimate attack. Suddenly, a woman arrived to deliver a final kick to the villain. Mount Lady, cannonball cannon. Delivering a kick that knocked out the villain and surprised all the citizens. Kamui, what? With his attack prepared. Citizens, there she is, there she is, there she is, there she is. Taking photos of the hero Mount Lady. Mount Lady, today is my debut day. My name is Mount Lady. It's a pleasure to kick your butts. Striking a sensual pose. Citizens, there she is, there she is, there she is. Continuing to take photos of her. Kamui, she's getting all the credit. Still with his attack prepared. Narration. Izuku, narration, with the emergence of superpowers came a significant increase in crime. And the country found itself stuck in slow progress of drastic reform laws. People with courage began to perform heroic acts like in comics. Fighting against villains who use superpowers. Heroes who were soon accepted by the public, and it became an official position. Based on their performance, they receive payments from the government and gain renown among the masses. Showing Mount Lady taking all the credit while Kamui was kneeling. End narration. Izuku, becoming giant, huh? She seems quite popular, and with an incredible quirk. But considering the damage to the city if she goes head to head with that, should its use be limited? No, but if she can control the size. Taking notes in his notebook. Friendly citizen, hey, are you taking notes? Do you want to be a hero? That's awesome. You can do it. Encouraging Izuku. Izuku, yes. I'll do my best. Happy about what the man said. At school. Teacher, as you're all third years, it's time to seriously consider your future. I've handed out many brochures for your future plans, but you're picking up some papers. Everyone activated their quirks, symbolizing one obvious thing. Teacher, planning to enter the hero course, right? Tossing the papers aside and changing his attitude. Everyone, yes. All activating their quirks except Izuku, who didn't have one. Teacher, yes, you all have wonderful quirks. But using your powers at school is against the rules. A bit nervous. Bakugo, sensei. Don't lump us all together. I won't be in the back with the rest of these rejects. In a pompous manner. Students, that's rude, damn Katsuki. Annoyed. Bakugo, you should shut up like the extras you are. Mocking his classmates. Teacher, oh, if I recall correctly, you want to go to UA, don't you, Bakugo? Reading his list. Students, UA. The national school? It was in the top 0.2 this year, you know? Everyone was murmuring as Izuku tried to hide. Bakugo, that's exactly why you're all extras. Complete the mock test. I'm the only one in this school with a shot at getting into UA. I'll definitely surpass All Might and become the greatest hero. My name will be written on the list of the wealthiest. Raising his fist and shouting what he said. Teacher, oh right, Midoriya also wants to go to UA, right? Reading his list. Bakugo had gone blank and Izuku was scared. A long silence fell in the room until suddenly everyone started laughing at Izuku. Student 1, huh? Midoriya? It can't be. You can't get into the hero course just by studying and training physically. While all the students laughed at him. Izuku, they removed that rule. There are only precedents. Nervous and explaining. Bakugo was angry and exploded the table in front of Izuku, knocking him to the floor. Bakugo, hey, Deku. You're worse than the rejects. You don't have a quirk. How could you even stand in the same place as me? Annoyed and mocking Deku. Izuku, and no, wait, Kachan. It's not like I'm trying to compete with you or anything. Believe me. It's just been my goal since I was little, and someone else motivated me to follow my path as a hero, and well. I won't know until I try it scared and hitting against the wall. Bakugo, what the hell is this unless I try it nonsense? Are you taking the test for fun? What the hell can you do? You're quirkless. Annoyed and with an intimidating instinct. Bakugo had left him feeling really bad. He was without spirit and felt cornered by the harsh words his friend had provided him. 12:02 p.m. outside the school. Vendor, thief. Someone. Worried and nervous as he watched the villain run away. Mud villain, catch me if you can, running with money on his viscous body. Citizen 1, huh? There's no hero nearby. Normally someone would show up right away confused. Citizen 2, this guy is taking advantage of the chaos this morning, annoyed and watching the villain flee. Citizen 3, there are so many people who don't know what to do with their quirks, showing disappointment. Citizen 4, there's no end to them, a little tired. Question mark, there is an end. Why? Because I am here. With a smile, surprising the citizens. In the school. Girl, hey, let's go to karaoke. Boy, yeah, I have nothing to do. Izuku, the incident this morning is front page news. I must hurry and get home soon to write it in my notebook, excited until someone took his notebook away. Bakugo, we're not done talking yet, Deku with the notebook in his hand. Bakugo's friend 1, Katsuki, what's this? Future hero analysis? Seriously? Starting to laugh at Midoriya. Bakugo's friend 2, Midoriya. Laughing a little. Izuku, it's okay, right? Give it back. Scared and intimidated. Bakugo gave a blast to Izuku's notebook. Izuku, how cruel. Scared and sad about what he did to his notebook. After burning it, he threw it out the window with a look of disdain on his face. Izuku, huh? Nervous and worried about his notebook. Bakugo, many of the elite heroes have stories about their school days. I want to shine by being called the only student who managed to get into UA from this mediocre school. I mean, I'm a perfectionist, conceited. Bakugo's friend 2, he's a coward. Embarrassed for Midoriya. Bakugo, so, don't apply to UA, nerd, burning Midoriya's shoulder and in the friendliest tone he could muster. Bakugo's friend 2, no, you might say something, embarrassed for Izuku. Bakugo's friend 1, don't say that. He's pathetic. He doesn't even face reality, bored. Bakugo, if you want to be a hero so badly, there's a quick way to do it. Trust that you'll be born with a quirk in your next life, and take the last chance by digging into the ground. Mocking Izuku. Annoyed, Izuku tried to look at Bakugo, but Bakugo had a much more intimidating aura and face, causing him to stay silent when he looked at him. Bakugo, what? Causing explosions with a maniacal look. Minutes later. Izuku, idiot. If I had jumped, it would be like encouraging suicide. Think before you speak. It's not fish food, idiots. It's my notebook. Idiot. Frustrated and looking at his burnt notebook. Flashback. Izuku, Mom, the computer. Excited and jumping. Inko, again? A little tired. Izuku, quick. Shaking his head. Inko, heavens, you've probably added 10,000 views to it, Izuku. It's too scary for me. I can't watch it, putting the video on and leaving an excited Izuku. Narration. Izuku, narrator, it was an old video. A disaster that happened a long time ago. The video of a hero who debuted after that serious. End of narration. In the video. Citizen, can you see that? He's already saved 100 people. It's insane. It hasn't even been 10 minutes. This is bad. A little nervous and amazed. After saying that, a blond man emerged from a destroyed bus, laughing with at least 4 people carried on his back. Citizen, he's laughing. Impressed. All Might, everything is okay now. Why? With a smile. Izuku was very excited, with a sparkle in his eyes that conveyed a lot of happiness since he was the hero he admired the most. All Might, because I am here calming the people. Outside the video. Izuku, it's great. Once I have a quirk, I want to be like him. he said while laughing like All Might. With the doctor. Doctor, you should give up, leaving Izuku in shock before throwing away his toy. Inko, it can't be. Is something wrong with him? Most of the other infants' quirks have manifested. He's the only one. Drawing the toy with her quirk. Doctor, excuse me, but he's 4th generation, right? Could I ask about his quirk? Curious. Inko, yes, of course. I can attract small objects to me. My husband can spit fire, a little worried. Doctor, normally by the age of 4, he should be able to manifest one of those quirks, or a combination of the two. In the past, when superpowers began to appear, the results of an early study were published. It became common practice to check if the little finger lacked any joints. When parts of the body are not used, they are seen as unnecessary. People who didn't have that joint were thought to be an evolved form. You can see it with this X-ray that Izuku has 2 joints. It's unusual to see that these days, but it means he doesn't have a quirk, calmly and leaving a disappointed Izuku. At Izuku's house. Izuku was watching the same video he always watched, but this time it was different. Izuku seemed less motivated, and his mother noticed. Izuku, Mom. He saves everyone with a smile, no matter the trouble they're in. He's a great hero. Can I be a hero too? Crying and pointing at the screen. Inko, I'm sorry, Izuku. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Crying and hugging Izuku. Izuku, thought, no, that's not it, Mom. What I wanted to tell you back then. Sad. End flashback. Flashback. Nejire, you can do it. Joyful. End flashback. Izuku, thought, you've already decided, haven't you? That's right. Don't worry about others. Keep your head up and keep going. Walking comically and laughing like All Might. Everything was fine until a green thing started to emerge from a sewer. Izuku, a villain? Very scared and seeing the green monster. Mud villain, a medium-sized invisibility cloak. Don't worry, I'm going to take your body. Relax. It will only hurt for 45 seconds. You'll feel better trapping Izuku and then starting to suffocate him. Izuku, thought, I can't breathe, trying to break free from the villain. Mud villain, you can't catch me, I'm fluid. Thanks for your help. You're my hero. I didn't think you'd come to this city suffocating Izuku. Izuku, thought, my body. I have no strength. I'm dying. Am I dying? I'm dying. Someone. Crying and frustrated. The villain was hit by an attack with a lid, which surprised him. All Might, everything is okay now, young one. I'm here. While the mud villain tried to attack but was dodged by All Might. All Might, Texas Smash. Giving a blow to the air, creating a strong wind pressure. Mud villain, wind pressure? Scared and exploding, leaving Izuku free. Izuku, All Might. Falling unconscious. All Might, hey. Oh, that's good. Giving small slaps to Izuku. Izuku began to scream from the shock of having All Might in front of him. All Might, I'm glad you're okay. Sorry for involving you in my battle against a villain. I don't usually make mistakes like this, but I was excited for my day off in a new place, laughing and placing his hand on his forehead. Izuku was still in shock at the appearance of his hero. All Might, but, you were a great help. Thank you. I captured him without any problems. Taking out some bottles containing the villain. Izuku, thought, All Might. The #1 hero. He's the real deal. He looks so different in person. Oh, right. An autograph. Where should I? In this book. He already wrote it. Excitedly opening his notebook. Izuku began to bow repeatedly as a gesture of gratitude. Izuku, thank you so much. It will be a relic. A family treasure. Continuing to bow. All Might, that's enough. Well, I have to take this guy to the police station. See you on the other side of the screen. Cheerful. Izuku, wait, so soon? Disappointed. All Might, professionals are fighting against enemies and time getting ready to jump. Izuku, thought, wait. There are still things I want to ask you. Sad and frustrated. All Might, alright then, keep supporting me. Wait. Hey. Let go. Your fandom is too much. Serious and trying to pry Izuku off his leg. Izuku, if I let go now, I'll die. Scared. All Might, true, stopping trying to release Izuku. Izuku, I have so many things to ask you. Barely speaking. All Might, alright. I get it, so shut your mouth and your eyes. Grabbing Izuku, he said as he looked for a place to land. All Might, damn it. Blood coming out. In a building. Izuku, that was terrifying. Scared from the ride. All Might, goodness gracious. I'm sure if you ask the people below, they'll help you down. Seriously, I'm short on time, so I'm off hurried. Izuku, wait. This. Desperate at his idol's departure. All Might, no. I won't wait. Moving away from Izuku. Izuku, but. Sad and disappointed. Flashback. Doctor, it's better if you give up calmly. End flashback. Izuku, even if I don't have a quirk, can I still become a hero? Can someone without a quirk be someone like you? With determination and causing All Might to stop walking. Narration. Izuku, narrator, this time, I didn't know how much my destiny would change serious. Previous chapter. Izuku, even without a quirk, can I become a hero? Can someone without a quirk be someone like you? With determination, halting All Might's stride. Current chapter. All Might, without a quirk? A bit impressed by such words. A little surprised, he paused. To be honest, what Izuku had asked was a simple yet difficult question to answer. Izuku, still a child with dreams yet to be fulfilled, wanting to become a hero like his idol was one of them. All Might was searching for the right answer until smoke began to emit from the hero's body, startling Izuku a bit. All Might, thoughts, this is bad, damn it, curse it. While bending down slightly and his body continuing to emit strange vapor. Izuku, it must be because I don't have a quirk, but I've always. Maybe that's why. I don't know. A little embarrassed. But I think saving people is super cool. Saving people with a fearless smile. I want to be a great hero, like you. Gathering courage to say what he thought but being surprised to see someone emaciated in front of him. In an alley. Mud villain, where am I? What happened? Confused and trapped inside a plastic bottle. Flashback. All Might, Texas Smash. Delivering a powerful blow towards the villain. End flashback. Mud villain, it's true. That bastard. If it weren't for that bastard. Angry and recalling the beating All Might gave him. Bakugo's friend too, hey, Katsuki, aren't you and Midoriya childhood friends? A bit curious as Bakugo treated him very poorly. Bakugo's friend 1, you went too far today, chuckling lightly. Bakugo, it's his fault for getting in my way kicking the bottle where the villain was. Bakugo's friend 1, doesn't seem like you. Flashback. Izuku, it's just that it's been my goal since I was little, and someone else gave me the motivation to keep going, and I won't know until I try, right? Scared and clinging to the wall. End flashback. Bakugo, he's an idiot dreaming like a child. Just watching him annoys me. Exploding a can. Bakugo's friend 2, so, why don't we go to the arcade? You're coming too, right, Katsuki? Inviting Bakugo. Bakugo, yeah, calmly accepting the invitation. Bakugo's friend 1, then let's go to the one in front of the station. There are plenty of prey there, activating his quirk, stretching his fingers. Bakugo's friend 2, you're awful surprised. Bakugo, what? If we're found out, that'll end my record. Irritated. Both his friends, hey, look. Pointing to a green liquid. Mud villain, an invisible cloak with a great quirk. Grabbing Bakugo. With Izuku and All Might. Izuku, why you've gotten thinner. Wait, until now. Eh? Fake? A fake? Impossible. Surprised by All Might's transformation. All Might, I am All Might. Blood coming from his mouth. Izuku, it can't be. Even more surprised. All Might, do you know those guys who flex their posture in the pools? It's like that, explaining to Izuku. Izuku, it can't be. And no way. All Might isn't afraid. He saves everyone with a smile. He's the best. Still surprised and a little disappointed by his idol. All Might, a fearless smile, huh? Sighing and sitting down on the ground. Now that you've seen me like this, young man, make sure not to write it on the internet even if it's an accident. It's because of a wound I received from an enemy attack 5 years ago. Half of my respiratory organs were destroyed, and I lost all my stomach. I became like this due to repeated surgeries and their after effects. Now, I can only work as a hero for about 3 hours a day, lifting his shirt to reveal a fatal wound. Izuku, it can't be. 5 years ago. Was it when you fought Toxic Chainsaw? scared by his idol's wound. All Might, you're very well informed. But an idiot like that can't defeat me. This fight can't be made public to the world. I requested it not to be made public. The symbol of peace cannot be intimidated by evil. I smiled to show strength to the heroes and to deceive the fear within me, forming a fist. Professionals are always risking their lives. I can't just tell you you can become a hero even without a power, explaining to Izuku seriously. Izuku, I see, disappointed and shocked by what he was told. All Might, if you want to help others, then you should become a police officer, standing up. They only receive ridicule because they take villains behind the scenes, but it's a good occupation. It's not bad to dream. But you must also consider reality, young man about to leave the place. Izuku, I knew it. It was obvious, right? Breaking into tears as All Might stopped to listen to him. Every time I remember my promise, my legs shake. I always doubted myself, never knew if I could do it. Sometimes it seems like nothing makes sense. I'm a loser and I'll always be a loser, recalling all the times he was bullied and facing the fact that he couldn't fulfill that promise. All Might, why, young man, a little depressed by Izuku's words. Izuku, I'm sorry for wasting your time. All Might, I'll stay here for a while to think things over, depressed, trying to wipe his tears. All Might, I'm sorry, young man, frustrated for shattering a child's dreams and leaving the rooftop. A couple of minutes passed. Izuku had sat on the edge bars of the rooftop, feeling a little frustrated and sad about the reality he had already considered. When he had made up his mind, he put his feet on the ground to go to the exit. But before that, he heard an explosion that was quite striking. Izuku, what? A villain? A bit impressed. I must hurry to take notes, straightening his shirt but remembering something. Flashback. All Might, I can't just tell you you can become a hero even without a power, explaining to Izuku seriously. End flashback. Remembering that, Izuku becomes quite depressed and walks away sadly to the rooftop exit. All Might's words had affected him greatly. With All Might. It's seen how All Might, worried, runs to the explosion that had occurred in his skeletal form. Citizens, a villain. Death arms, a child was taken as a hostage? Coward. What is this? Hitting the villain, but his arm was being absorbed by the villain's liquid. Hero 1, death arms. Damn it. Dodging an attack from the villain. Mud villain, don't come near me. Launching an attack. Bakugo, I won't let crap like this devour me. Damn it. Causing explosions. Mud villain, what great power. I hit the jackpot. With this quirk and power, I can get revenge on this guy. Excitedly expanding his liquid. Citizen, incredible, what is that? Is he a major villain? Worried about the disaster. Citizen, she's here. The rookie hero, Mount Lady. Mount. Lady, wait. I need at least 2 lanes. Unable to advance. Kamui, I'm not good with explosions. I'll leave it to someone else for today. Grabbing 2 civilians who were Bakugo's friends about to be caught in the fire. Backdraft, I'm busy fighting the fire. Aren't the firefighters coming? How's it going over there? Expelling water from his hands. Death arms, it's stinky and hard to grab, and the kid with a strong quirk is trying to defend himself, worried about Bakugo. Hero 1, thanks to that, it's a minefield. It's hard to do anything against this triple threat. Worried and frustrated for not being able to do anything. Death arms, it's useless. There's no one who can handle this. Dodging an attack from the villain. Hero 1, all we can do is wait for someone with the right quirk. Dodging an attack. Backdraft, let's minimize the damage until then. Trying to extinguish the fire. Kamui, don't worry, I'm sure someone will come soon. Saving citizens. Hero 1, I feel bad for the kid, but he has to hold on a little longer, frustrated. Death arms, damn it. If only I had the power to blast this guy away. Frustrated for leaving Bakugo. Citizen, hey, isn't this going wrong? Worried. Citizen, you can do it, heroes. Concerned. All Might, it was at that moment. I got distracted by my time limit. I can't believe I made a mistake like this after advising a fan. Frustrated and held in place. Pathetic. Pathetic. Remembering the time he jumped with Izuku and clutching his wound. With Izuku. Izuku was reading his notebook while remembering the words everyone told him. In Izuku's mind. Student, he can't face reality, even though he's already in his 3rd year of high school, mocking Izuku. Teacher, it's time for you to seriously consider your future serious. All Might, you must also consider reality serious. Outside Izuku's mind. Izuku, thoughts, even a professional said it. Don't cry. You knew, right? You knew that's why you were trying so desperately. You were averting your gaze from reality, wiping his tears. Flashback. Nejire, even if you don't have a quirk, you must never lose hope, you just have to strive until you reach your goal, cheerful and showing an adorable smile. End flashback. Izuku, thought, I'm sorry Nejire. Showing disappointment in himself with a lost look. Is this where the explosion was earlier? Hey, did I come for my habit without noticing it? Stop. I feel insignificant right now crossing the street. Izuku upon seeing who it was and got scared. Izuku thoughts, what is that guy doing here? Did he escape from All Might? Did he drop it? If that happened, then it's my fault, scared and in shock. Citizen 1, why aren't the heroes doing anything? Worried. Citizen 2, they can't. Apparently, the villain caught a high school student. It's been like this for a while, serious. Izuku thoughts, caught? It's been like this for a while? How can they endure that suffocation? I thought I would die after a few seconds. Incredible. Impressed by the trapped person's endurance. Citizen 3, it doesn't matter, isn't that the villain All Might was chasing earlier? Asking. Citizen 4, what? All Might? Is he here? Impressed. Citizen, I think I saw him before, recalling some events. Citizen 4, really? Then what is All Might doing? Impressed and looking around. Izuku thoughts, it's my fault. He can't do anything. Frustrated. All Might, pathetic. Grabbing onto a lamppost. Izuku, he can't catch that guy. All we can do is wait for a hero with the right quirk. Scared and guilty. All Might, pathetic. Angry. Izuku, try harder. I'm sorry. Frustrated and putting his hands on his mouth. All Might, pathetic. Frustrated. Izuku, help will come soon. Taking a small step without realizing it. All Might, pathetic. Frustrated and clutching his wound. Izuku, someone. A hero. Soon. Scared and looking at Bakugo. Flashback. Nejire, you can do it, it's the new meaning of your nickname. Cheerful. Izuku, are you really giving me such a cool meaning? Crying with happiness. Nejire, of course. Why not? Even if you don't have a quirk, you must never lose hope, you just have to strive until you reach your goal, cheerful and showing an adorable smile. Nejire, remember. You can do it, Izuku showing a Nejire before they part ways. End flashback. Izuku, remembering everything his friend had done for him, couldn't take it anymore, and his legs moved on their own towards the villain. Those words, the unforgettable words that Nejire had dedicated to Izuku, not only motivated him to move forward but also gave him hope to follow the path he always wanted to advance. Being a hero. Death arms, idiot. Stop. Trying to stop Izuku. Death arms, idiot. Stop. Trying to stop Izuku. Mud villain, you brat. A little annoyed. Bakugo, Deku. Almost unconscious. Izuku thoughts, why did I run? What am I doing? Why? Still running towards the villain. Why? That answer is simple, right? I always wanted to be a hero. Nervously swallowing and closing his eyes as he ran towards the villain. Mud villain, die with an explosion about to trigger an explosion. Izuku thoughts, remember all the path you've walked, Midoriya Izuku. Page 25. Take this. Throwing his backpack with force and surprisingly injuring the villain's eye. Mud villain, damn it. It hurts, annoyed and closing one of his eyes. Izuku, Kachan. Putting his hands in the mud of the villain to try to save Bakugo. Bakugo, why are you here? A little annoyed and barely conscious. Why was I in that place? Why did my legs move on their own? That was the question he had asked himself a moment ago. Izuku realized immediately, many events had intervened. From his childhood to how he is now. But everything led to the same answer. Izuku, you look like someone asking for help. Crying and surprising All Might. Bakugo, stop. Annoyed and trying to free himself. Bakugo, stop. Annoyed and trying to free himself. All Might, pathetic. Transforming into his muscular form. Mud villain, just a bit more. Don't get in my way. About to attack Izuku. Death arms, he'll die in vain. Does he want to commit suicide? Trying to save Izuku with other heroes. The mud villain was about to finish off Bakugo, but Izuku kept trying to save his friend, which allowed him to breathe for a few more seconds. This delayed what the villain wanted to do, so he was preparing a quite annoying attack aimed at Izuku. Our protagonist was prepared for the impact of the attack, but the real help had arrived. All Might, I'm truly pathetic. Stopping the villain's attack. Izuku, All Might. Impressed. All Might, so. Are you still that loser you mentioned to me? You were never the loser you always believed you were. I truly didn't practice what I preached to you, I'm sorry for that. While the mud was entangled in his body and he looked at Izuku with a big smile. Professionals always risk their lives. Preparing to strike while blood was coming from his mouth. Mud villain, All Might. Trying to attack All Might. All Might, Detroit Smash. Yelling, forming a large tornado and leaving them both unconscious. All Might, Detroit Smash. Yelling, forming a large tornado and leaving them both unconscious. Citizen, Rain? Saying as drops fell on the two students. Citizen, Rain? Saying as drops fell on the two students. Citizen, was that from the wind pressure? Impressed. Citizen, an updraft developed and. Impressed. Death arms, did he create clouds? Impressed. Citizen, with just his right fist, he changed the weather. Impressed. Citizen 2, that's amazing. That's All Might. Joyful and excited. All Might raised his arm to signal that everything was fine. All Might raised his arm to signal that everything was fine. Narration. Izuku, narrator. After that, the heroes gathered the remaining mud and handed it over to the police. End narration. Death arms, heavens, there's a limit to how reckless you can be. There was no reason for you to put yourself in danger. Narration. Izuku, narrator, I was scolded by the heroes, but Kachan was praised. End narration. Hero, that endurance was amazing. And that quirk. Once you're a professional, come to our agency. You'll definitely be a great hero. Later. Izuku was walking towards his house, a little pensive about what had happened. Izuku thoughts, I wanted to apologize to All Might, but he was being interviewed. I'll try to send him a message on his page when I get home. Still pensive. Bakugo, Deku. Running towards Izuku. Izuku, Kachan? A little confused. Bakugo, I never asked for your help. And you shouldn't have helped me. Understand? I was fine alone. You have no quirk, you're just a failure. Don't think you can look down on me. Are you trying to make me thank you? Don't bother me. Damn nerd. Annoyed and comically turning around. Izuku thoughts, endurance. Maybe Kachan is right. It's not like I achieved anything, or changed anything. I guess I'll try it even though I know how it will end. Smiling and looking at the sky. All Might, I'm here. Appearing out of nowhere. Izuku, All Might? Why are you here? You were surrounded by reporters until now. Checking if there were reporters. All Might, escaping from them is a piece of cake. Why? Because I'm All Might returning to his normal form and blood coming from his mouth. Why? Because I'm All Might returning to his normal form and blood coming from his mouth. All Might, young man. I came to thank, to correct, and also to suggest. If you hadn't been there. If you hadn't told me about your life. I would have become a kind of suit guy who only knows how to talk grateful. Izuku, it can't be. It was my fault in the first place, and everything I said was impertinent for someone without a quirk. A little depressed. All Might, indeed. It's because there was no one else but the timid quirkless me on the scene who was able to act. Eyes shining with light. Elite heroes have stories about their school days. Most of their stories have one thing in common, their bodies moved before they had a chance to think, giving hope to Izuku. Narration. Izuku, narrator, for some reason. I remembered my mother's words, nostalgic. End narration. Flashback. Inko, I'm sorry, Izuku. I'm sorry. End flashback. Upon hearing that, Izuku clutched his heart and began to cry. The little training he had set for himself, the promise he made to Nejire, all the good things that had happened along his journey, and this last event with the mud villain. He finally realized that none of it was in vain. All Might, that was true for you, wasn't it? Asking seriously. Izuku, yes. Crying and kneeling but not averting his gaze from All Might. Narration. Izuku, narrator, it's not that, Mom. At that moment, what I wanted you to say. The words I wanted to hear were serious. End narration. All Might, you can become a hero. Looking at Izuku kneeling and crying. Izuku, still crying, looked at All Might with determination. It wasn't just because the number one hero had said it. Upon hearing the phrase, Izuku saw a hallucination. It was of his friend Nejire, who had given him the same words. This hallucination was beside All Might, looking at Izuku kneeling with the same big smile as always, which cheered Izuku up even though he knew it was an illusion. Izuku, yes. Shouting with a slightly hoarse voice and lowering his gaze to stop showing his tear-stained face. All Might, you can become a hero looking at Izuku kneeling and crying. Current chapter. All Might, you are worthy of inheriting my power, leaving Izuku very confused. Izuku, I inherit your power? Impressed and confused. All Might, why the long face? It's just a suggestion. The real show begins now. Listen, young man. You must decide whether you will accept my power or not. Laughing while coughing up blood. Izuku, thoughts, what is All Might saying? Very confused. All Might, I'm talking about my power, young man. The newspapers call it super strength and boost, and I always avoided the question during interviews with a funny joke. Because the symbol of peace, All Might, must be a naturally born hero, but, young man, I'll tell you the truth. My quirk was passed down to me like a sacred torch, explaining to Izuku. Izuku, it was passed down to you? Very impressed by what All Might was saying. All Might, that's right, and now, it's your turn, extending his hand with much hope in Izuku. Izuku, wait. Just a moment. It's true that your quirk is debated as one of the great mysteries of the world. There isn't a day that goes by without someone talking about it online, starting to murmur. All Might, always starting with denial, huh? Interrupting Izuku's murmur. It doesn't make sense. Looking up. Izuku, what? Scared. All Might, I've hidden many things, but I'm not lying. The power to transfer power. That's the quirk I inherited. Extending his hand to explain to Izuku. Its name is One for All. Emitting a light in the palm of his hand. Izuku, One for All. Impressed. All Might, that's right, one person cultivates the power and passes it on to another person, who also cultivates it and then passes it on. It's the crystallization of power that revolves alongside the voices of those who need help, with a brave heart closing his fist. Izuku, why would you? Why would you give me something so amazing? Impressed and almost crying. All Might, I've been looking for a successor, and then, I thought it would be okay for you to inherit it. You, who are just a fan of heroes, without a quirk, have been more heroic than anyone else before. Motivating Izuku to accept the power. Well, it's up to you. What will you do? Calming the atmosphere a bit so Izuku can think. Izuku, thoughts, he said so much to support me, even told me his secret. Impressed by All Might. Is there? Of course, there isn't. There's no reason to reject it. Wiping his tears. Izuku, I'll do it. Standing up and responding with determination. All Might, an immediate response showing a slight smile. That's what I thought you'd say. Proudly then showing a big smile. Narration. Izuku, narrator, but, it's not an easy task to receive his power with a serious tone. End of narration. At the beach. We find ourselves on a beach which was filled with garbage. In the middle of all that garbage we can see Izuku trying to move a refrigerator with a rope on his shoulders, while All Might, in his muscular form, was sitting on top. All Might, hey, hey, hey. It's somewhat comforting to sit here. If you could move it even a little, it would be easier sitting on top of the refrigerator. Izuku, well, All Might, you weigh 274 kilograms, right? On the floor, tired without having moved the refrigerator even a bit. All Might, no, I've lost weight, it's only 255 kilograms now, in this form, teasing Izuku. Izuku, more importantly, why am I carrying beach garbage? Looking around a bit confused. All Might, that's because you're not the right vessel. Even if you have some muscle, it's not enough. Taking pictures of Izuku. Izuku, what you're saying now is the opposite of before. Starting to shout. All Might, I'm talking about your body, my quirk, One for All. It's the physical strength that many people gathered in me. An unprepared body won't be able to fully inherit it. Limbs will detach, and the body will explode. Stopping taking pictures. Izuku, limbs what? Then. Am I doing this to train my body? Sending a shiver down his spine. All Might, yes. But that's not all. Thumbs up then getting off the refrigerator. After some research on the internet yesterday, I found out that off the coast of this beach, it's been like this for many years, hitting the refrigerator. Izuku, yeah. For some reason, due to the current, objects come here, and people take advantage to dump their garbage illegally. Local residents don't come close, explaining as he remembered what he read on the internet. All Might, heroes these days are after the flashy. Originally, being a hero meant volunteer work, even if people call it boring or whatever. You can't hesitate from those roots. You will restore the skyline of this entire section. That's your first step to becoming a hero. Crushing the refrigerator, causing a lot of garbage behind the object to be destroyed. Izuku, my first step? Cleaning. This. Seeing all the accumulated garbage. All of it? Impressed by all the garbage he had to clean. All Might, young Midoriya, you want to go to UA, right? Asking Izuku. Izuku, yes. Yes. Because it's where you went. So definitely. I thought. I definitely must go to UA with determination. All Might, you're a big fan. But, I told you this before. It's not something you can do without a quirk. It's sad, but it's reality. UA is the toughest course to get into, in other words being interrupted by Izuku. Izuku, in 10 months before the UA entrance exam, I must be the right vessel. Motivated and with a glimmer of hope in his eyes. All Might, that's what this is for. Taking out some papers. Goal, plan to achieve the American dream. It's a training to help you clean the beach. I'll make you follow this in every aspect of your life. Handing the papers to Izuku. Izuku, even sleep time is included. Looking at his training routine. All Might, frankly, it's a super tough routine. Will you be able to do it? Whispering a bit worriedly. Izuku, of course. I have to work harder than anyone else or I won't make it. Very excited to see his routine. All Might, very well, nodding his head proudly. Meanwhile, somewhere else. Thoughts, I wonder if he'll take the test to get into UA, recalling Izuku. What are you thinking, Nejire? Cheerful and a little curious about her friend. Nejire, it's nothing, Mirio. I was thinking if my childhood friend will try to get into UA. Cheerful. Mirio, childhood friend? What's he like? Curious. Nejire, he's a great person with a heroic mindset. But unfortunately, he doesn't have a quirk. A little sad and worried. Mirio, no quirk? How will he pass the exam then? Curious. Nejire, I don't know yet. But I want to see how he manages to pass the exam. I trust he'll get into UA with or without a quirk. Cheerful and remembering the words she said to Izuku. Mirio, you seem to trust him a lot. Not too long ago you were bitter, but when it comes to your friend, you look very happy, laughing a little and seeing an embarrassed Nejire. Don't you want to ask the director if we can go to the exams? Quite cheerful and surprising Nejire a bit. Nejire, do you think they'll give us permission? Cheerful and excited. Mirio, I think they will. After all, it'll help us assist them in the future. Cheerful and laughing a bit. Nejire, thank you, Mirio. Cheerful and jumping with excitement. At the beach. Narration. Izuku, narrator, thus began my 10 months of hell with a calm tone. End of narration. All Might, take that to the entrance. Put it on the truck. Supporting Izuku. Izuku, thoughts, depending on the size and shape, the muscles I have to use are completely different. I see. This is it. Running with the wheel on his shoulder. All Might, run. Run. 10 months will fly by before you know it. Let's make you athletic. Encouraging Izuku from atop a truck. The next day at his school. Teacher, let's see. With the emergence of superpowers, the Construction Act was revised. And the Minister of Land, Infrastructure, Transport. Reading a book while explaining his class. Izuku, thoughts, this is tough. 10 months of this, huh? It'll be hard if I don't finish a week before the exam. Showing a lot of fatigue before opening his notebook. Which means, there are 294 days left. Taking into account a sufficient recovery period, if I rest for 2 days, that'll give me about 98 days of actual training even if I'm efficient, murmuring, causing the whole class to startle. Teacher, Midoriya. Hey. Did you encounter a villain that drove you crazy? It's presumptuous to enter UA in that manner, calling Izuku's attention. Izuku, thoughts, besides, I have to study for the exam, embarrassed while the whole class laughed at him. Student, is he already nervous? That's scary, mocking Izuku. At the beach. We can see a motivated Izuku in all his days, eating, training with his weights, running to the beach, carrying things, and even training during his class hours. Undoubtedly, he was giving his all to become the right person to receive the power. A few months later. Izuku was seen carrying something on his shoulder, feeling exhausted and tired, yet he kept carrying the microwave on his shoulder. However, pain started to shoot through his back, causing him to collapse on the ground. All Might, hey, what's going on? There are only 3 months left. You won't make it. Do you want to give up? Do you want to take it easy and rest all day? Scolding Izuku. Izuku tried to get up with all the strength he had, but still couldn't. The training outside his routine was taking its toll, something that All Might didn't hesitate to think about. All Might, thoughts, overdoing it? The goal, plan to achieve the American dream for your body and mind, to ensure that you achieve it in time for the entrance exam, thinking a bit confusedly. All Might, aren't you following the plan? Overdoing it will have the opposite effect. Don't you want to make it? Showing a bit of annoyance. Izuku, and Nejire. Whispering that name barely before trying to get up. A while ago, I made a promise. I've always been a loser, All Might, but that promise motivated me to stop being one. Using all his strength to look All Might in the eyes. Flashback. Nejire, I'll wait for you at UA. Don't you dare give up. Cheerful and walking away. End of flashback. Izuku, that's why. I want to fulfill that promise. To be the best hero and smile like you do. I want to stop being that loser. Even if I have to work harder than everyone else, I'll be the best hero. Filled with determination and still trying to get up with a lot of pain in his body. All Might, thoughts, incredible. He always tried to push through even without a quirk. This is magnificent, very impressed. Izuku, who was still on the ground, was looking at All Might with great determination until the latter activated his muscular form, motivated to lift his pupil and encourage him. All Might, you're really crazy. But, calm down, I understand you. Let this old man change the routine for you. Starting to laugh as he carried Izuku. Izuku, it's okay. But you're not old, All Might barely conscious. All Might started to laugh at the praise from his pupil, and as he said, adjusted Izuku's routine so that he could complete it on time without any problems. Days passed quickly, so fast that 3 months passed in the blink of an eye. 3 months later. And then, it was 6 a.m. on the day of the entrance exam. All Might was arriving at the beach, wearing warm clothing. He was thinking about Izuku when he heard a scream that echoed throughout the beach, a scream that contained many feelings, motivation, satisfaction, and pain. All Might, he finished at the last minute. Impressed, seeing Izuku standing atop all the garbage. All Might, oh my. Astonished, looking at his pupil. Godness. Immediately transforming into his muscular form. Izuku was losing his balance due to the weariness in his body, but the number one hero was there to stop Izuku from falling. All Might, good job. Seeing Izuku's face with a big smile. Izuku, All Might. I did it. Crying tears of happiness and satisfaction. All Might, yes, you surprised me, your coach. Young people are incredible. Look at this, showing some photos of Izuku from 10 months ago. Izuku, that's. Looking at All Might's phone. All Might, you did well. You really did. The miracle of it is barely visible, but you've become the right vessel. Very proud of Izuku. Izuku, I feel like I'm cheating. You did all this for me. I'm so happy, joyful and crying with emotion. All Might, thoughts, what are you saying after all this time? That was your own hard work. Seeing Izuku motivated. All Might, well, we need to fix those eyes of yours. Now, it's time for the award ceremony, Midoriya Izuku. Quite motivated and cheering up Izuku. Izuku, yes. Standing up straight with motivation. All Might, here's something I was told once, something you receive as luck, and something given to you as recognition, they're different in essence. Plucking a hair from his head. Take this. This is the power you obtain through your own efforts. Holding the hair out to Izuku. Izuku, thoughts, I'll embrace the reality that surpasses even comics. With a serious and motivated attitude. All Might, eat this. Bringing the hair he plucked close to Izuku's face. Izuku, huh? Impressed. All Might, this wouldn't really matter unless you take in my DNA. Chuckling a bit. Izuku, it's different from what I imagined. Nervous and a little disgusted. All Might, now, there's no time. You'll be late for the exam. Trying to give the hair to Izuku. Come on. Forcing the hair into Izuku's hand. At the entrance of UA. Izuku, I made it. Breathless and arriving at UA. Izuku, thoughts, in the end, I didn't have time to test the power I received from All Might. Nervous and a little disgusted, remembering what happened. Flashback. All Might, eat this. With a hair in his hand. End of flashback. Izuku, I swallowed the hair. Did I really receive his power? Disgusted. Bakugo, get out of my way, Deku. Annoyed, pushing Izuku aside. Izuku, Kachan nervous, waving his arms. Bakugo, don't stand in front of me, I'll kill you very upset, walking past Izuku. Izuku, gee good morning. Let's do our best waving his hands nervously. Student 1, hey, isn't that Bakugo? The one who was with the sludge villain? Pointing at Bakugo. Student 2, oh, right. Glancing at Bakugo. Izuku, thoughts, since that day, Kachan hasn't done anything to me. He was just scared of his habit. I'm different from how I used to be. Remember those 10 months? Slapping his cheeks with the palms of his hands. Take the first step. This is it. Almost falling to the ground. Question mark, are you okay? It's my quirk. Sorry for using it without asking. But, it would be bad luck if you fell, right? Are you nervous? Cheerful, easily holding Izuku up. Izuku, this nervous, reacting without being able to speak. Question mark, let's do our best. See you. Walking away from the scene. Minutes before. Nejire, thanks, Mirio, for asking the principal happy and excited. Mirio, it's nothing. Tamaki didn't want to come. He's a downer happy, remembering Tamaki. Nejire, it doesn't matter. Spotting someone familiar. Mirio, so that's him, he doesn't look as simple as you described him, he happy, seeing Izuku. Nejire, it can't be. He's changed so much. How wonderful, very happy and excited to see her friend. Let's go say hi. Insisting to Mirio. Mirio, no, it's better not to bother him. If he's as you described, he'll get nervous knowing his friend is watching him, stopping Nejire. Nejire, why you're right. A little discouraged. Still, count on my support. I know he can do it, very excited and confident in Izuku. Mirio, that's the spirit, now let's see how. That Midoriya Izuku is doing arms crossed, then continuing his way with Nejire. Inside UA present mic, to all applicants, welcome to my show today. Everyone say hey. As absolute silence filled the room. Such a refined response. Then, I'll introduce you to the practical exam route. Are you ready? Yes. Without getting a response from anyone. Izuku, it's the voice hero, present mic. Amazing. I listen to him every week on the radio. I'm so moved. All the UA teachers are professionals. Excitedly letting out his fandom. Bakugo, shut up, annoyed, silencing Izuku. Present mic, as stated in the application requirements, you applicants will have a 10-minute training battle after this. You can take whatever you want with you. After the briefing, head to the specified battle center, okay? Okay? Excitedly. Bakugo, so, they won't let you work with your friends, huh? Analyzing the information sheet. Izuku, why you're right, even though our examination numbers are consecutive, we were assigned to different battle centers, nervous, looking at the field number assigned to him. Bakugo, don't look, I'll kill you, damn it, right now I want to crush you, angry, furrowing his brow. Present mic, 3 types of villains are in each battle center. You earn points for each of them based on their difficulty. Your goal, dear applicants, is to use your quirk to earn points by immobilizing the villains. Of course, attacking other applicants or any other non-heroic action is prohibited. Warning the students. Question mark, any questions? Standing up from their seat. Present mic, yes. Arms crossed, then pointing to the student. Question mark, in the pamphlets, there are 4 types of villains. If that's a printing error, then UA, the most promising school in Japan, should be ashamed of such a mistake. Applicants are here because they aspire to be exemplary heroes. Showing a bit of anger at the supposed mistake. Also, you, with the curly hair. Turning to point at Izuku. Izuku, who? Me? Looking around confused and nervous. Question mark, you've been mumbling the whole time. It's unpleasant. If you're here for a field trip, then leave immediately. Annoyed, staring at Izuku. Izuku, I'm sorry. Embarrassed, covering his mouth. Present mic, okay, applicant number 7111. Thank you for the message. The 4th type of villain is worse than 0 points, that type isn't an obstacle, so to speak. Showing on the screen the robot indicated by the student. There's one in each battle center. An obstacle that can appear in narrow spaces. It's not impossible to defeat, but there's no reason to do so. I recommend trying to avoid it. Advising everyone as the dummy on the screen navigates around the obstacle. Thank you very much. Please excuse my interruption. Bowing before sitting back down. Student 1, I see. It's like the obstacles you evade in video games, huh? Analyzing. Student 2, it's all like a video game. Impressed. Present Mike, that's all from me. Finally, I'll give all the applicants a gift from our school. The hero Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "A true hero is someone who overcomes the adversities of life." Finishing the quote before gearing up for a loud cheer. Go ahead. Plus ultra. Now, everyone, good luck with your trials. Excitedly. On the battlefield. Izuku, thoughts, it's time to do it. It's time to give everything I gained from my training with all might these 10 months. I'll become the hero I've always dreamed of being. Using the palms of his hands to slap his cheeks and shake off his nerves. Izuku, thoughts, it's time to do it. It's time to give everything I gained from my training with all might these 10 months. I will become the hero I've always dreamed of being. Tapping his cheeks to calm his nerves. Current chapter. Despite trying to calm down, Izuku was very nervous as he waited for the start of the test. Izuku, how can everyone be so confident? Aren't they nervous? They have gear to use their quirks. A bit embarrassed as he watches the others. Oh, it's the person I met at the school gate. The kind person. She was assigned to the same battle center, huh? Oh right, I should thank her for earlier. Nervous and trying to go to the person but was stopped. That girl seems to be trying to concentrate. What are you planning to do? Take the entrance exam to interfere with someone else? Stopping Izuku, a little annoyed. Izuku, and no, of course not. Acting nervously. Student 1, is he the guy who almost fell at the entrance? Looking at Izuku. Student 2, that guy shouldn't have been called. Mocking. Student 3, another rival we don't have to worry about. Laughing a bit. Everyone, lucky us. Seeing Izuku as one less obstacle. Izuku, thoughts, I feel like the others think they're lucky because I'm here. A little embarrassed. In the observation room. Nezu, allow me to introduce the top students of UA. They kindly asked if they could attend the entrance exams to see the potential of future students. Letting in 2 students. Mirio, Tamaki couldn't make it today, he said he was busy. Laughing a bit as he entered with his arms crossed. All Might, thoughts, so they are the strongest of UA. Thinking seriously. Nezu, well, if you're here, it's to observe, isn't it? Heading to his seat to observe. Let's get this started. Pressing a red button which opened all the doors. Battle Center. Present Mike, alright, start. What are you waiting for? In real fights, there's no countdown. Death awaits you. Excitedly giving instructions. Izuku, huh? I'm already behind. Watching as the others move ahead. Everyone in the arena was already battling for their points, nobody wanted to give points to others, and because of that, there were some complications. Izuku, who still had no points, found himself cornered by 3 robots. Our green-haired hero, with no plan in mind, was thinking about what to do until a blue beam destroyed the robots, leaving Izuku with no points. Everything was happening very quickly, and the test was about to end, but out of nowhere, something gigantic started approaching the combat area. Izuku, thoughts, isn't that too big? Looking at the 0-point robot, impressed. This isn't fun. I have to escape, I'll get points if I escape. This is bad, very bad, I still have 0 points. Turning around nervously, on the verge of crying with frustration. Present Mike, 2 minutes left. Excitedly giving notice, worrying Izuku. Izuku, 2 minutes? It was all a waste. Everything All Might gave me. It will all be wasted. Frustrated and trying to find some robots to get points. It hurts. Trapped in debris trying to escape. Flashback. It would be unlucky if you fell, right? Smiling while deactivating her quirk. End of flashback. Seeing the person trapped, Izuku was shocked. He didn't know what to do while everyone else ran to safety. Just a moment was enough to think and act. He began to run without thinking, just like that day. In the observation room. All Might, there's no merit in defeating that artificial villain. Smiling as he watches the screen. Battle Center. Izuku, who was running towards the person who had helped him, stopped midway to prepare a jump which quickly propelled him to the head of the robot, impressing the trapped person. Izuku, thoughts, clench your buttocks. And scream from within your heart. Preparing a punch with all his strength. Smash. A single blow was enough to destroy the robot. The robot's head had been destroyed, causing small explosions that showed it was totally unusable. In the observation room. All Might, that's right. It brings you to the surface, the most important quality of a hero. Smiling as the hero celebrated. The spirit of self-sacrifice. Looking at Izuku, surprised by his punch. Nejire, thoughts, does he have a quirk? That's awesome. Very excited with stars in her eyes. Mirio, you were right, Nejire. Getting Nejire's attention. Nejire, what are you talking about? Curious, placing her finger on her cheek. Mirio, that guy is amazing. Surprised to see Izuku saving someone from a worthless robot. Battle Center. Izuku had punched and destroyed the robot, but the consequences of using one for all without limits hadn't been good. His arm and legs were completely broken, rendering him totally immobile. Izuku, thoughts, the conditions were the same as when I tried to save Kachan. But it's different. Remembering when he ran to save Bakugo. This time. Starting to fall from jumping so high. Present mic, 1 minute left. Excitedly. Izuku, darn it, I'm falling. I didn't think of anything to land on. Wait, this power is All Might's, I can jump this high now. Landing should be a piece of cake. Broken? Falling and feeling his arm and legs broken. Flashback. All Might, you've become a suitable vessel, but one that was made hastily. Be prepared for the physical repercussions your body will face. Serious, warning Izuku. End of flashback. Izuku, that's it. I'm an idiot. Just 10 months barely were enough time. I can barely handle this power. I was arrogant for a moment. I've barely earned the right to stand on the starting line. Think. What do I do? Grasping his broken arm, which hurt badly. Detroit Smash. If I aim for the ground. But my legs and arms are shattered, and the timing, if I do it too soon or too late, I'll die. Even if I succeed, I still have 0 points. If I destroy my left arm, there's no way I'll make it preparing a blow to stop the fall. Izuku was very scared and didn't know what to do. He started screaming, preparing an attack to land, but still, with a lot of fear, causing him to not be able to launch the attack he had in mind. But, thanks to a slap, he started levitating, calming down a bit. Our release. Clasping her fingers and starting to vomit. Izuku, I'm saved. No, she saved me. Is she okay? At least she doesn't seem hurt? Thank goodness. And thank you. If I could get a point. Crawling with one arm to try to get a point. Present mic, time's up. Announcing the end of the test as sirens blared. Time had run out, and Izuku had become unconscious with his legs and right arm broken. Everyone was murmuring beside him since he showed a power that destroyed a gigantic robot. Everyone found Izuku to be an incredible person, and if not for that side effect of breaking his limbs, he would be even more amazing. In the observation room. Nejire, Izuku. Showing a lot of concern as she saw her friend with serious injuries. All Might, thoughts, huh? Does she know him? Does she know young Midoriya? Quite impressed. Mirio, easy, remember that the old lady takes care of this kind of thing. Trying to calm Nejire. Nejire, thoughts, his power is incredibly strong, but still. Those side effects, I don't like them at all. Pouting, quite worried. Battlefield. Recovery girl, let's finish this quickly. Is anyone else injured? Looking around until she sees Izuku. I see. If this exam is like this. Then he. Thinking of a possibility while watching Izuku being healed by recovery girl. Not much time had passed, and Izuku was already awake on a stretcher in the infirmary. When he woke up, the nurse, recovery girl, warned him that he shouldn't break his bones like that again because it was very dangerous. At the entrance of UA Izuku, what a waste. I messed everything up. Dejected as he left UA. Izuku. Running towards Izuku. Izuku, thoughts, Izuku? As far as I know, only my mom and. Is it? Turning to see who it is, hopeful. Nejire, long time no see, Izuku. Remember me? You still remember, right? Cheerful and jumping on Izuku, causing him to fall. Izuku, NN Nejire? What are you doing here? nervous with Nejire on top of him and getting up immediately. Nejire, don't you remember? Our goal was to get into UA, and today I came to see how you did in the exam. Happy and starting to jump excitedly. Izuku, wait. Why you saw me? Nervous and a bit depressed by the result he got. Nejire, of course. You were awesome. When you jumped and gave that robot a big punch. Imitating Izuku and throwing a punch in the air. Why didn't you ever tell me you had a quirk? What's it called? Why didn't you use it before? Although it's quite dangerous, you shouldn't use it too much. Very excited and trying to scold Izuku but still excited. Izuku, well. My quirk is. Enhancement, yeah, that's my quirk, yeah, and I couldn't use it because of the damage it did to my body. Inventing excuses nervously because he couldn't tell her about One for All. Mirio, Nejire, I told you to wait for me. A little tired, trying to catch up to Nejire. Nejire, it's your fault for being so slow. Arms crossed. Mirio, setting that aside, Nejire. Interrupting Nejire to stand in front of Izuku. It's nice to meet you. I'm Tagata Mirio, Nejire's friend. You can call me Mirio. Happy, extending his hand for a handshake. Izuku, nice to meet you, I'm Midoriya Izuku, but you can call me Deku if you want. Accepting the handshake, a little nervous. Mirio, Deku? A little curious about the nickname. Izuku, it's a nickname given to me by a childhood friend, which meant useless. But someone changed its meaning to you can do it. That made me very happy and completely changed the meaning for me. Happy, surprising Nejire. Mirio, I see. That's a good backstory, sounds like something Nejire would do, but I'd like to call you Izuku, can I? Smiling a bit. Izuku, of course, whatever you prefer. Happy and smiling too. Nejire, I'm so glad you still appreciate the change. Very happy, hugging Izuku tightly. Izuku, hey. Quite nervous. Nejire, it's been such a long time since I last saw you. Holding Izuku tightly. Mirio, by the way, you did amazing in the entrance exam. What you did is what a true hero would do. Happy, giving Izuku a thumbs up. Izuku, amazing, huh? A little sad. Nejire, what's wrong, Izuku? Stopping hugging Izuku and noticing the change in him. Izuku, no matter how hard I tried in that test, I couldn't get any points. That means I won't be able to get into UA, sad and almost crying. Mirio, but if you hadn't defeated that robot, what would have happened to the person you saved? We don't know if there might be a last-minute change. Smiling a bit as he remembers specific points he saw on the qualification screen. So, cheer up and don't lose hope until you get the results, okay? Giving Izuku a small pat on the back to encourage him. Izuku, why you're right. Happy, wiping his tears with a bit of hope. Nejire, it's getting late. Seeing it getting dark. How about we go out together one of these days? Smiling very happily and looking at both of them. Izuku, that sounds good. I hope we can get to know each other more, Mirio. Smiling slightly. Mirio, of course. Raising his thumb, quite happy and motivated. Izuku, see you. Starting to leave the place. Nejire, Mirio, do you think he can get into UA? Curious, watching as Izuku walks away. Mirio, I don't think UA would reject someone who has the qualities to be a hero. Happy, calming Nejire. 1 week later. We're in Izuku's room, where our last mention was doing various exercises, like lifting small weights and doing push-ups. Izuku, thoughts, there must be a way to use One for All without breaking my bones, while doing push-ups until he couldn't anymore. Inko, Izuku. The UA letter is here, opening Izuku's door, causing him to startle and get nervous. After receiving the letter, Izuku was nervous, too scared to open the envelope. Eventually, with some frustration, he tore the paper and was surprised to see All Might in a hologram. All Might began explaining that he was currently a teacher at UA and then talked about Izuku's results in the practical and written exams. All Might, even if you pass the written exam, you got 0 points in the practical. Of course, that means you didn't pass, a little sad. Izuku, I knew it. I knew it, but it's so frustrating, almost crying. All Might, and that's why. After all, I'm an entertainer. First, watch this video, showing a television. The #1 hero showed a recorded video of a girl who he had saved in the practical exam, She was asking present Mike to give her some of his points because Izuku had saved her and he had heard Izuku say he didn't have any points. All Might, adding that now you have a quirk, your actions inspire others to act. The entrance exam the other day wasn't just passed with points from villains. How could a hero course be about people who save others and do what's right? Call it lip service? Get ready. This is a job that requires risking your life to put that lip service into practice. Rescue points, impressing Izuku and showing the rescue points. And they're given by the panel of judges. It's another of the basic skills we look for at UA. Midoriya Izuku, 60 points. And Uraka Ochako, 45 points. Both passed, proudly smiling in front of the camera. Izuku, it's insane, surprised and crying with emotion. All Might, come, young Midoriya. This is your Hero Academy, proudly extending his hand. Izuku, yes, crying with excitement and getting up motivated. After receiving so much help, my life changed and will keep changing. And now, my dream of high school life is about to begin. All Might, come, young Midoriya. This is your Hero Academy. Proudly. Izuku, yes. Tears of excitement. Current chapter. The night after I opened the acceptance letter, that person contacted me. Izuku, All Might. Tears of excitement. All Might, who's that? Spitting blood because people were nearby. Citizens, All Might? Where? Impressed. All Might, repeat after me, I got the wrong person. Pointing at Izuku. Izuku, I got the wrong person. Nervous and slightly loud. All Might, congratulations on your acceptance. High-fiving Izuku. Izuku, thank you so much. Quite joyful and excited. All Might, just so you know, I haven't told the school about my connection with you. You're the type who'd think that's cheating, right? I wasn't one of the judges. Cheerfully pointing at himself. Izuku, thanks for your concern. But, I was surprised to learn you're a teacher at UA starting to draw conclusions. So, is that why you came here? I mean, your agency is Roppongi Minato, Tokyo. Being stopped by All Might. All Might, enough. I couldn't tell anyone until the school announced it. I got an offer from UA while I was looking for my successor. Gazing seriously at the ocean. Izuku, thoughts, he was looking for a successor at UA. Someone with an incredible quirk. It's not the time to think about that. Shaking his head. Izuku, speaking of One for All, I still can't control it, but I've been reviewing my notes on One for All and I've thought of a possibility to use it correctly. Explaining and impressing All Might. All Might, thoughts, did he already figure it out? A little curious about Izuku's response. All Might, what would that possibility be, young one? Looking at Izuku seriously. Izuku, I haven't been able to use it properly because I can break my bones, but what if I distribute One for All throughout my whole body? Recalling his notes as his ideas began to come together. The time I used One for All in the practical exam, I threw a punch as if it were a special power, concentrating all the power in my arm. Looking at the palm of his hand. All Might, it's a good method. Give it a try if you want, start with 15% so you don't get hurt. Impressed with how quickly Izuku grasped things, arms crossed. Izuku, let's hope this works. Quite nervous, trying to concentrate One for All throughout his body. All Might, that's it. Watching as One for All flowed through Izuku's entire body, causing sparks to fly. Izuku, I see now, it's so simple I didn't think to use it like this in the practical exam. Just maintaining the full cowl. I'm not used to this, but I can do it. Full cowl, that's what I'll call it. Striking a fighting pose in front of All Might. All Might, you achieved it quite quickly, but the flame I've passed on to you is still weak. You have to keep training. Looking proudly and flexing his muscles. Citizens, it's All Might. When did he show up? Impressed. All Might, let's go, young Midoriya. Running at a speed Izuku can match. A few minutes later. Izuku, it's still hard to maintain full cowl, I have to keep training. Falling onto the sand, exhausted. Still, it's awesome. Opening his palm and then forming a fist. All Might, well said, young Midoriya. Extending his hand to help Izuku up. 7 days later. In these 7 days, Izuku focused on training with full cowl activated, trying to maintain that state for as long as possible to get used to it as quickly as possible. He even had it activated while doing his exercises, doubling his own training routine. And when the day came, the first day at UA, Izuku was ready for any kind of test. Inko, good luck on your first day, you're amazing. Happy and proud of her son. Izuku, see you later. Happy, leaving the place. At the entrance of UA Izuku, thoughts, I understand full cal better each time, I can use 20% without any problem. This must be thanks to all the training I've done, but I still can't neglect regular training. Thoughtful as he walked. Mirio, hey, you there? Signaling for him to react. Izuku, oh? Why yes, Mirio? Looking at Mirio a little nervously. Mirio, knew you'd get in, congrats. Extending his hand for a handshake. Izuku, thank you so much. Accepting the handshake. By the way, I forgot to ask you when we first met, could I know what your quirk is? I usually jot down everyone's quirks that I meet. Curious as they walk to the academy. Mirio, it seems you're just as curious as Nejire, but putting that aside, my quirk is permeability. I can pass through anything you see down to the ground, but the downside is I can't breathe, see, or feel things while using it, and my clothes vanish. Happily and calmly explaining. Izuku, that's really incredible. It means you have great control over your quirk. Joyful, stars in his eyes. You must predict your moves excellently. Very excited, praising Mirio. Mirio, it took me a lot to master this power, but it's something I'm proud of. Flexing his arm, proud of himself. By the way, you're still in first year, you must have trouble with your quirk, like in your practical exam, right? Walking alongside Izuku. Izuku, I'm still in the process of mastering my quirk completely. Thinking about full cowl. Mirio, I really like you, if you need help with anything, don't hesitate, Nejire and I will help you. Cheerfully giving a thumbs up. Izuku, really? Thank you so much. Thanking Mirio, bowing. Mirio, alright, see you when our classes end, we'll wait for you with Nejire. Fist bumping. Izuku, why yes. Still very grateful, fist bumping Mirio. Mirio, see you later. Turning around, waving with one hand. Izuku, okay, I have to find my class. Following his path, beginning to search for his class. Class 1A. 1A. This place is huge. Here it is. The door is enormous. Is it because of accessibility? The elite chosen from the large number in the exam. I hope I'm not in the same class as the scary people. Nervous, opening the door. Question mark, don't put your feet on the desk. Scolding Bakugo. Bakugo, huh? Annoyed, not removing his feet from the desk. Question mark, don't you think that's disrespectful to the senior students of UA and the people who made this desk? Scolding Bakugo. Bakugo, no, what high school did you go to? Side character. Irritated. Izuku, the top two. Watching them argue. Question mark, I went to Same Private Academy, I'm Tenya Ida. Introducing himself. Bakugo, Same? You're an elite bastard? Huh? Seems like I'll have fun crushing you. Annoyed and arrogant. Ida, crushing you? That's cruel. Do you really want to be a hero? You're impressed and a little scared. Izuku, oh, this. Nervous. Ida, good morning. I'm from Same Private Academy. My name is. Serious, approaching Izuku. Izuku, why yeah, I heard. I'm Midoriya, nice to meet you, Ida-kun. Happy, showing a slight smile. Ida, Midoriya, did you find out there was more than one practical exam, right? I had no idea. I misjudged you. Hate to admit it, but you're better than me. Making robot gestures. Izuku, sorry. I didn't notice anything. A little confused. Uraka, oh, curly hair. You're the one I was looking for. You passed just like the presenter said. Happy. Izuku, it's the kind person. Happy, looking at Uraka. Uraka, your punch was amazing. Break. Break. Mimicking Izuku's punch at the robot. Izuku, oh well, that was because you went to talk to him directly. Nervous, and very thankful. Uraka, huh? How do you know that? Curious and a bit confused. Izuku, oh, that's. Nervous, trying to come up with an excuse. Flashback. Teacher, I can't believe 2 students from our school enrolled in UA. Especially you, Midoriya. It's a miracle. Impressed to see Izuku also got into UA. Outside the school. Bakugo, what kind of weird trick did you use, huh? The first student from your school to get into UA, my plans were ruined. I told you to go somewhere else. Very annoyed. Izuku, Kachan. Someone told me you can become a hero. That was thanks to my own efforts. Showing a bit of annoyance. That's why. I'll go. Grabbing Bakugo's arm and showing some sparks of one for all. End of flashback. Bakugo, thoughts, how dare he challenge me? And what were those sparks he emitted when I was threatening him? Annoyed remembering that scene. Uraka, I wonder if today will only be the entrance ceremony and orientation. What will our teacher be like? Are you nervous? Happy and excited. Izuku, thoughts, too close. Nervous and a bit blushy. Question mark, go somewhere else if you want to play friends. This is the hero course. Coming out and grabbing a juice. Uraka/Ida/Izuku, is there something there? Scared, watching as the person stands up. Question mark, well, it took you 8 seconds before you stood still. Time is limited, you kids aren't rational. Bored and sleepy as he emerged from a sleeping bag. Izuku, a teacher? So this person is a pro. But I've never seen a hero who looks like a caterpillar. Thinking about what hero it could be. Question mark, I'm your homeroom teacher. Aizawa Shota. Pleasure. Showing a lot of sleepiness and exhaustion. Izuku, thoughts, homeroom teacher? Very impressed to see he looked like a vagabond. Aizawa, it's sudden, but put these on and let's head to the field. Taking out some UA tracksuits. With all might. All might, the UA system doesn't follow the easy path. Depending on the homeroom teacher, even the first day can be. Surprised to see Izuku's class teacher. On the field. Everyone, a quirk assessment test? Worried. Uraka, what about the entrance ceremony? And the orientation? A bit scared and worried. With all might. All might, so Aizawa. Putting his palm on his forehead out of concern. I heard he expelled an entire class last year for lack of potential. Worried about the rumors. On the field. Aizawa, if you're going to become heroes, you don't have time for those kinds of useless events. UA is a school unrestricted by traditions. Just like the teachers conduct their classes, you've been doing that since school, right? Physical tests where you're not allowed to use your quirks, the country uses data from students without using their quirks. That's not rational. Well, the Ministry of Education is a hassle. Impressing some students. Midoriya, you passed the exam even without villain points, but you got rescue points, right? In school, what was your best result in softball throw? Bored, taking out a ball from his pocket. Izuku, F 50 meters, sir. Nervous, seeing Aizawa's intimidating gaze. Aizawa, try it with your quirk. You can do whatever you want as long as you stay in the circle. Quick, give it your all. Bored, throwing the ball. Izuku, oh okay. Nervous, trying to catch the ball. Aizawa, thoughts, let's see what you do in this situation. You broke your bones in the exam, if you do the same, I'll erase your quirk. Analyzing Izuku. Izuku, thoughts, one for all, full cal 10%. Emitting a small gust of wind as he charges his power. With this, it should be enough. Gripping the ball and preparing to throw. Aizawa, thoughts, it's quite different from the entrance exam. It's a weaker power, but he can control it. Bored, carefully analyzing Izuku. Izuku, smash. Throwing the ball quite far. Aizawa, thoughts, he's strong, but he's not using all his potential. Bored, giving a threatening look. Izuku, phew. Deactivating full cal and wiping his sweat. Aizawa, you didn't use all your power, right? Or at least what you can endure. People like you, without potential or unwilling to give it their all, deserve to be expelled. Impressing the other students. Ida, expelled? Worried and a little scared. Bakugo, thoughts, a perfect opportunity. Thinking Izuku was going to fail. Izuku, I can't use 100% if I do, I'll break my arm. Looking at his arm with a bit of fear. Aizawa, use the maximum you can endure, I'm sure you can use more than you did. Serious and quite sure of what he says. Izuku was a bit scared, he didn't know what to do, but with the hard training he had, he discovered that his limit was 30% for at least 10 seconds and he could maintain it at 25% or 20%. Flashback. Izuku was running as usual, this time without using full cal. He was at the beach to make his training with the sand more difficult, but out of nowhere, he stopped because he was thinking about his limit with his power. Izuku, I must know what my limit is for now. As sparks emitted from his body. One for all, full cowl, 20%. Emitting a small gust of wind as he charges his power, causing the sand to lift a bit. With this, Izuku realized that 20% wasn't a problem for him. Thanks to that, he started running for a minute with it activated. Because of that, he decided to increase his power a little more. Izuku, full cowl, 25%. Feeling a bit of weight in his body. Izuku, I shouldn't go beyond this. For now, this is my limit. Throwing a punch into the air that caused a gust of wind, lifting a lot of sand. When Izuku saw what he could do, he couldn't help but smile and tried to maintain the 25% for a minute or two, but because of that, the next day he woke up with quite a few cramps that made his training difficult. End of flashback. Izuku, alright. As his body was surrounded by orange lines. Ida, I hope he can pass this test. Worried. Bakugo, huh? He won't pass this test, he's always been useless. Irritated. Ida, useless? Didn't you see what happened in the entrance exam? A bit impressed by Bakugo's reaction. Izuku, thoughts, I didn't plan on doing this, but I'll surpass my limit. Charging one for all to 30%. A gust of wind was expelled when Izuku charged full cowl to 30%, which impressed those present. It could be seen that Izuku was barely maintaining the 30%, just a 5% difference made a big impact when it came to one for all. Izuku, Professor. The ball. Extending his hand to catch the ball. This is what I can do. For now. Throwing the ball, causing it to shoot off at an impressive speed. Aizawa, thoughts, this kid. When he showed his power in the practical exam, he seemed like an irrational kid who didn't think about the consequences. Looking at the scoreboard. Izuku, how about now, Professor? Sore and with his arm numb from using more power than he could handle. Aizawa, thoughts, I was going to expel this guy if I didn't see potential in him, but it seems I was wrong. Showing how many meters Izuku achieved. Kaminari, 1094 meters? Impressed. Kirishima, those green rays looked really cool, man. Praising Izuku. Bakugo, Deku. Why didn't you ever use that quirk? Trash. Very angry and about to hit Izuku but stopped by Aizawa. Aizawa, Bakugo. You were the top scorer in the UA exam, don't make me lose confidence in you. Bored, restraining Bakugo with some bands. Bakugo, after being scolded, returned to where he was quite angry because he felt disrespected and overshadowed by Izuku, something he despised about the latter. Bakugo, thoughts, you were just a stone compared to me before, Deku. Just a stone. Very annoyed, looking at Izuku. After that test presentation, the others followed, which were quite normal, such as running, long jump, side jumps, grip strength, etc. Izuku stood out by using only 10% less in the side jump test, because there was an individual named Mineta who stood out in the side jump test due to his quirk. Izuku, thoughts, using 30% of one for all exhausted me a lot, plus I feel a bit sore, but I no longer feel the numbness in my arm. Stretching his arms and legs. Aizawa, alright, I'll show the test results now. Using his phone to holographically display the results. Izuku, F first? Very impressed and nervous. Kirishima, Midoriya, right? Friend, you're awesome. Praising Izuku, causing him to blush. Izuku, why you think so? Quite embarrassed. Mina, that wind you release when you use your power. Jumping with excitement. Tsuyu, your power is a lot like All Might's, ribbit. Impressing Izuku. Izuku, are really? Too nervous and straightening up immediately. Kaminari, aren't you All Might's son? Chuckling a bit. Izuku, of course not. Trying to deny and excuse himself. My quirk is just reinforcement. Excusing himself, embarrassed and blushing. Kirishima, I'm Kirishima, hope we can be friends. Thumbs up with a smile. Mina, I'm Mina Ashido. Your power is impressive. Still excited. Tsuyu, I'm Tsuyu Asui, you can call me Tsuyu-chan. Smiling quite happily. Kaminari, and I'm Denki Kaminari. Pointing at himself quite proudly. Izuku, you may already know, but I'm Midoriya Izuku, you can call me Deku. Nice to meet you all. Smiling with a bit of embarrassment. Bakugo, thoughts, TCH. Damn nerd, I'll definitely beat you. Leaving the place very angry. Izuku continued talking with his new classmates until Aizawa scolded them to go to the classroom. Izuku, who decided to go to the bathroom for a moment, was surprised to encounter someone, which made him a bit scared. All Might, I'm here to congratulate young Midoriya. Appearing in front of Izuku in his muscular form. Izuku, All Might? You scared me. With his hand on his heart. All Might, I came to congratulate you for the great effort you put into Aizawa's test. Happy and proud. Izuku, wait. How do you know about that? Curious and a bit confused. All Might, I was hiding to see how you were managing. With a smile. Izuku, leaving that aside, I was able to use 30% of One for All. Explaining to All Might, a bit excited. All Might, and how did you feel? Quite surprised. Izuku, honestly, my body felt heavy and painful when I moved. I guess I still can't handle that power very well. Remembering when he threw the ball. All Might, well, at least it's progress. I suppose if you could endure that, then 25% is your limit, right? Proud of his disciple. Izuku, why you're right, but still, I have to train more. With determination, forming a fist. All Might, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. It would be good if you asked for help from other people besides me. Serious. Izuku began to think about who could help him until he remembered that in the morning he spoke with Mirio and he kindly offered his help if he ever needed anything. Remembering that, Izuku didn't hesitate to tell All Might. Izuku, I know some third-year students who seem to be quite strong. Joyful and thoughtful. All Might, third-year students? Can you tell me who they are? Quite curious. Izuku, Nejire Hadu, who is my childhood friend, and Mirio Tagata, whom I met after the practical exam. As far as I know, they have good control over their quirks. I could ask them if they can help me improve. Remembering his friends. All Might, I see. That's why that girl mentioned your name when she saw you. Remembering the practical exam. Wait. Tagata Mirio? Impressed and startling Izuku. Izuku, why yes, is there a problem? A little scared and nervous. All Might, the principal told me about them. I also saw them in the monitoring room during the practical exam, but Mirio is one of the strongest students in the academy. Causing a lot of impression on Izuku. Izuku, what? Nejire and Mirio? The strongest? Very impressed to know that information.